Some of you may be familiar with Omar Khayyam, the great poet, mathematician, astronomer from medieval Persia. Well, my father was trying to figure me out. I was 17 years old, and a mystery to him, as all 17-year-olds would be to their parents. So he was throwing things at me to see what would stick. This is what stuck. The poem is called "The Playboy Calendar and the Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam."
No wonder it stuck.
The year I graduated from high school, my father gave me a Playboy calendar and the Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam. On the calendar he wrote, "Enjoy the scenery." In the book of poems he wrote, "I introduce you to an old friend." The Beast was my only friend in high school, a wrestler who crushed the coach's nose with his elbow, fractured the fingers of all his teammates, could drink half a dozen vanilla milkshakes, and sign up with the Marines because his father was a Marine. I showed the Playboy calendar to the Beast, and he howled like a silverback gorilla trying to impress an expedition of anthropologists. I howled too, smitten with the blonde called Miss January, held high in my Sibian hand. Yet, alone at night, I memorized the poet astronomer of Persia. His saints and sages bickering about eternity, his angel looming in the tavern door with a jug of wine, his battered caravanserai of sultans fading into the dark. At 17, the laws of privacy have been revoked by the authorities, and the secret police are everywhere. I learned to hide Khayyam and his beard inside the folds of the Playboy calendar. In case anyone opened the door without knocking, my brother with a baseball mitt or a beery beast. I last saw the Beast that summer at the Marine base in Virginia called Quantico. He rubbed his shaven head, and the sunburn made the stitches from a car crash years ago stand out like tiny crosses in the field of his face. I last saw the Playboy calendar in December of that year, when it could no longer tell me the week or the month. I last saw Omar Khayyam this morning. "Awake," he said, "for morning in the bowl of night has flung the stone that puts the stars to flight." "Awake," he said, and I awoke. First job. This is a poem all about that, and it's called "My Heart Kicked Like a Mouse in a Paper Bag." I was on the cleaning crew for $2 an hour, wheeling a trash cart through the aisles at Sears, panning for cigarettes in the sand of ashtrays, fumbling fluorescent tubes that exploded when they hit the floor. I once removed a perfect turd from a urinal, fastidiously as an Egyptologist handling the scat of a pharaoh. Some of the janitor's boys were black men with white hair. The rest wore badges with missing letters in Spanish. We heard 4 bells and galloped across the store. The janitor sat all day in the boiler room reading Asian mail-order bride magazines. I was the boy who swam in trash. I dumped the carts into the compactor we dubbed the crusher, then leaped on the pile to pack it down. Sometimes I'd jump on the garbage and burst through like a skater too heavy for the ice on a frozen lake. Once a trash man who did not see me pressed the button, and the walls of the crusher began to grind. I yelled and the grinding stopped. The janitor never knew. He was masturbating in the boiler room. A stock boy handed me a paper bag one night as if it were the lunch he forgot to eat and punched out. The bag was alive. There was a mouse inside, kicking, caught, sniffing around the crusher. Bewildered boy that I was, I called security. Department store cops who loitered at the loading dock, breath hot from smoking, hunting shoplifters and telling lies about the war. One of them said, "Where's the mouse?" When he clapped the bag in his hands, it popped. And the pop made me flinch. And the flinch made him slam the bag again, till the strawberry stain told me the interrogation was over. He flipped the bleeding sack at me and walked away. My heart kicked like a mouse in a paper bag. Today, I stomp on the trash behind the shed, packing it down for the barrels I steer into the road, gathering the cigarettes I do not smoke that float in the coffee I do not drink, satisfies the cleaning crew in me. I hear the 4 bells like a fighter with the same headache for 40 years. Sometimes I search the garbage with a flashlight for an unpaid bill, a bottle of pills, a lost letter, the perfect mouse to liberate.